Under no circumstance are you allowed to take off your blindfold. You must listen as closely as you can. Do you understand?
Netflix has a huge hit with the movie Bird Box starring Sandra Bullock, and I finally had time to check this thing out. It came out over the holidays. It started this new craze. People are apparently blindfolding themselves and seeing how long they can survive walking around city streets and into traffic and, snowboarding and doing all kinds of stupid things with blindfolds on. Don't do that. That's what this movie is about, basically. There's this alien threat that has come down to Earth and has poisoned people's minds and made them suicidal in some really atrocious and heinous ways just by the mere act of looking at these creatures, which are just merely hinted at in this movie. We don't really spend a lot of time, just like in A Quiet Place, which, it's hard not to compare the two because we're talking about children in peril and adults, superstar adults, having to keep them safe. It does have quite a bit of tension, and they always get you when they put kids in peril. At least me, I'm a parent, so then when I see little kids, especially such fine young actors as these two are, you really, you love them. They say nothing, and you're like, protect these kids, whatever you do, don't let any harm befall them. And so they got me with that. But there's also some pretty cool, supporting cast in here. John Malkovich has a relatively thankless role as this curmudgeon with a shotgun, and there's some nice interplay between Sandra Bullock and John Malkovich, who are so clearly such megawatt superstars. In this movie, they kind of stick out. It's like you don't see people with that much talent and personality just walking around, because everybody else is good, solid, but kind of like regular people, And then there's John Malkovich and Sandra Bullock, who are just like, beam! Anyways, there's some, interplay between this cast that gets shuttered into a house, and they blind everything up because they can't look outside because everybody's killing themselves and in some horrific ways. And a lot of stuff is just kind of hinted at. We don't see everything. There's a lot of stuff off camera. There's a lot of reaction shots and then some horror stuff. But then every once in a while, somebody will just bash their head into a window and just blood's everywhere. It's just like, oh my God, what am I looking at? There is this freaky opening sequence when all hell starts breaking loose where they're driving and crazy crap starts happening, and that was really effectively created. I also like the news sequences where they're, showing some stuff on the news and it's the end of the world, and you can feel it, man. The walls are closing in and it's terrible, and of course, there's other people out there trying to take advantage of that, and attacks happen and lots of deaths occur, and in the middle of all this, Sandra Bullock has got to bring these children to a safe place, and she can't let anybody look anywhere, and so we have scenes of them riding down the rapids, and they can't see each other, and of course kids are nearly drowning, and nobody can look at each other, and it's harrowing and it's freaky, and it's no wonder why it's inspired a lot of dumb people to go out with blindfolds on and try to see how they would do.
Where is it?
And I think that's testament to how well plotted and paced and how much tension is achieved through this movie.
Open your eyes.
Is this still a fun film? Yes, it is. It's a fun movie. It's not going to blow you away. I think the way that I'm starting to look at Netflix movies now is that they're really kind of at TV movie quality, and this is one of the better TV movie quality Netflix films that I've experienced so far. It's a little contrived. You have to forgive it some sins for sure, but it's still, I think, a pretty fun couple of hours. I liked it. I liked the production value of it. There were some nice twists and turns and some surprises. It gets kind of a silly ending, but you do me a favor and in the comments below point me to a bunch of horror movies or thriller shocker movies that don't kind of wrap up in silly ways. It just seems to be the common thing with a lot of these horror type flicks is that the bow at the end is always a little deflating, and you can kind of say that about Bird Box as well. Still, I had a good time with this movie. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.